Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Becca, and this is my husband Nick, and he's joining me today because we are filming a deployment Q&A video. I asked on my Instagram a while ago for some questions for this, so I've got them written down. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm going to shout myself out. It's at Becca and I like to interact with you guys a lot on there, so let's go ahead and get into the video. So I have all the questions written down on a notebook, but first I wanted to give like a little background on like why we're even doing this video. So basically Nick was just deployed for 9 months. He got back about 3 months ago, and I've had tons of people on Instagram message me and just ask me different kinds of questions, or specifically ask me to do this type of video. So I thought I would do it, but I wanted to do it with Nick so I could get his perspective as well. So yeah, he was deployed to Afghanistan for 9 months. That's all. That's it, guys. That was his first deployment, and it was my first time as well. So the first question I got was, what are your tips for getting ready for your spouse to deploy? And I kind of took this as like, what do you do like mentally, or just like, so basically all I did was I just spent as much time with Nick as I could. We did go on leave before, so we got a good 2 weeks before he left to actually just spend time together. And mentally though, like there's nothing you can really do to like prepare. I mean, if you've never gone through it, you don't know what it's going to be like, so you're just kind of like going into it blindly. So I don't know what I really did to prepare, except for just like spend as much quality time off my phone, just like spending time together like that.
Yeah. Also, you have to make sure that your spouse or whoever is staying back is, you know, financially ready, and like everything is in order back at home, because you don't want to leave them for 9 months and then them not have access to, you know, finances or, you know, whatever it be. So yeah. I made sure that she had access to all that stuff.
POA.
She had a power of attorney, yeah. So she could do anything in my name. Also, everything in the house was in order when I left, so nothing needed fixing or at the point. So I mean, yeah, some stuff broke while I was gone, but yeah, nothing too much.
And another question I got was, what was the day like the day he left? So for us it was like really different, because Nick was supposed to leave one day, so you can go ahead.
They had said we were gonna leave on, I don't know what day it was. It was like a Thursday. It was like the 5th of June. It was like a Thursday or something. They said we're gonna leave. We're gonna meet up at
6.
I don't know, like 6 or something in the evening. Do the whole goodbye ceremony.
Like his parents came and everything.
Yeah. My parents were there. She was there. My sister was there, and we did the whole ceremony. And then we said our goodbyes, and
did a good cry.
All the family left and everything, and then we met up like all the people that are deploying, and they said, hey, never mind, we got pushed right 24 hours.
No, so we're 12 hours.
It was 24. They said we were gonna get pushed 24 hours right, and so I had to call them back up and say, hey, come pick me up, I'm not leaving for another day. So they came and picked me up, and then Becca was an emotional wreck. Well, yeah, because she had to say goodbye twice, essentially.
Yeah, so that was something bad. Like, and the next time, I was like, the whole time he was leaving, I was like, I think I'll be okay as long as you don't leave like early in the morning, where it's like first thing I wake up and then I say bye to you. I feel like that's gonna be hard. And then that's ended up what happened was he came home at 6. Like, we left at like 7, and then he had to be back at the hangar at 6 a.m. So like we didn't really even get to spend time together that night after he came back. But the morning that he actually left, it's just like desperation of like soaking in the last couple minutes that you have with each other, and just like holding each other's hand, just like not wanting it to actually happen, and like you're both crying just because, I mean, it's gonna suck, guys. Like there's no way around it. It's gonna suck. So
but it goes by quick. So
the day, I always say that the day that they leave is the worst. Like, it's just the worst. Once that's over with, it goes like up from there, because you get to start your countdown. So the next question is, how often did you get to talk? So do you want to talk about like communication So basically for Nick, while he was traveling, we didn't get to talk all that much. So when they left, at least with him, they stopped in a couple places before they got to where they were going. And in those places, it was like kind of iffy if they were going to have signal and he was going to be able to talk to me at all. I think it took like over 12 hours from when he left, from when I heard from him. And it was just like a really quick phone call. But once you got where you were going, we talked every day. Yeah,
it's really dependent, especially like when you're traveling through Europe and then the Middle East. If you don't have like a cell phone plan that's global, which is also, you know, really expensive, you're pretty much reliant on Wi-Fi. So if you can't have Wi-Fi where you're at or whatever, pretty much have no communication. But I was lucky enough to have Wi-Fi through the different places where I was traveling through, so I could, you know, send a quick text or call on FaceTime or FaceTime audio or whatever.
But the majority of the 9 months, we FaceTimed almost every day. But they did go out on missions, and during that was kind of like iffy if I was going to get to talk to him. Yeah. I mean, I would always get a text, but sometimes it was like, I can't FaceTime. Like, it's too, like, I'm too busy or the signal's not good.
It's dependent on where you're at. If most of the FOBs where I was at, we had pretty good Wi-Fi, but we'd go to some places and I could barely even send a text out over Wi-Fi. So if they had Wi-Fi, so it just depends on where you're at, really. So.
But you can buy that like puck thing. Can they do that everywhere?
Yeah. You also have the option to buy. They call it a puck. It's like a mobile Wi-Fi spot, and you can use that to get Wi-Fi. But it runs off cell phone towers. So if there's not cell phone towers near you, you're not gonna have any Wi-Fi. But you can also buy a SIM card and just replace your SIM card in your phone that you have for the U.S. You know, and switch it over to Afghanistan or wherever you're at. So that's always an option too.
Yeah, if your like husband's about to deploy, you should like definitely look into that. And like the whole phone situation, like we could talk about that for a while, but just know that like they're not gonna be able to have like Verizon, so you have to like go in and get your phone like turned off pretty much and like just use Wi-Fi. So the next question is, how did each of you get through the deployment? I think that's kind of like a broad thing, but I think for me, did I get through it, guys? No, I think I just like trying to stay busy and like put as much on my plate as I could, like just knowing that I was gonna be able to talk to him at the end of the day was really nice. And then I would take the dog to the dog park every day. That was something to look forward to. Like I did Etsy. I think just like keeping myself as busy as I could. I got into the gym. Just do whatever you can to distract yourself from like sitting at home and like wallowing, because I mean it's gonna happen. But what did you do?
Yeah. My experience for that was, I don't know, a lot different, I guess.
I know what you're gonna say. Know, like, you didn't have time to miss me.
No. I missed her. It's different when you're deployed. I worked like 15-hour, 16-hour days pretty much every single day for 9 months. So like, I don't want to say I don't have time to think about it. It's you know, it's like the second thought in my mind. You know, my first thought is work and, you know, just being out there getting my job done. And, you know, then at the end of the day, when I have time to myself, you know, that's the time when I, you know, think about that stuff. But majority of the day is, you know, really just working. And then majority of the day is really just working. And then by the end of the day, when I'm off, you know, it's just shower, call Becca, and then go to sleep. And then it repeats. It goes by really quick. It might not. For you. It goes by quick for the person that's deployed. And then, you know, the spouse kind of has the short end of the stick. But yeah, it's a totally different experience. What
I felt like for me, and I would tell Nick, I'm like, everything, like you're going through everything and everything's changed for you, but like for me, it's just like I'm doing the same thing I would be doing, but just with you gone. And I think with him, it's like not nice, because you got like to be the one going around, because I definitely would want to stay home. But I feel like it's just like you feel more of like them missing because you're doing the same thing, but like I'm not gonna be there with him, so you're not gonna like feel me, you know, not there. So the next question is, how did you deal with the loneliness missing each other? And I think we kind of just to address that. So
yeah,
just like talk to each other as much as you can. If you can't, I sent letters to him just to like, I feel like it can get really monotonous, like talking every single day, just like going over your day, but then like really getting down on paper like how you're really feeling. And
it especially got like monotonous for like on my side, because my routine doesn't change. It's literally the exact same thing every single day. It's just I don't have anything new to talk about really. I know she kind of would get a little frustrated with me sometimes. I'd be like, what'd you do? So or like I'd want him to talk, and he's like, you just do the same thing every single day for 9 months. So, and especially like after like a long day of work, I don't not want to talk, but that
like,
also kind of that also kind of like weighs into it, because you don't have anything to talk about, and it's just you've been doing the same thing for weeks on end, so it's just I don't know. So
but anyways, if you're a spouse, definitely if you have the means to send care packages, I feel like they appreciate them, especially if you're sending like stuff that they're actually gonna eat. Like I sent tons of canned chicken and like Tabasco sauce, hot sauce, and I feel like you ate that a lot. I mean, I thought you were
snack food before you go to bed. So.
So and it's like nice for you because you have something to look forward to, like, oh, I'm gonna go like to Hobby Lobby and shop for the stuff for the box. It's like something else to do to keep yourself busy. And so the 6th question is, do you think deployment caused a strain on your marriage? I feel like not being able to like really express your feelings, because things can get like misconstrued over texts or, you know, and then I feel like he's just like, I know he's so tired, but then in the back of my mind I'm like, why don't you want to talk to me so much? And I feel like that can be hard, but I don't feel like it was like a big strain on our marriage. If anything, it kind of like brought us closer, because we had something to like look forward to. Yeah,
that was definitely a thing, looking forward to, like, getting back home to her. And it's just, I don't know, I was nervous getting back home, and I know she for sure was, so. But I can see how it can be. Like, if you can't talk all the time, like, and there's stuff going on at home, like, that can be hard, because you feel like you're doing everything on your own, and you're just, like, kind of almost resentful that they've left. I can see that. But just, like, knowing that it's gonna end, and, like, it'll be, like, now that he's back, I feel like that I keep telling people, I'm like, I can't believe that 9 months like passed and that I did it, because now it doesn't feel like I did. Next month is almost next like month is a year from when I left, so it's almost been a full year. It's wild.
When did you know he was coming home? So I think this is kind of like someone who's going through a deployment like right now asking, because you don't know, like the majority of the deployment, I had like a rough estimate, like a month. I knew like what month he would be coming home, kind of. He'd either be coming home like the beginning of this month or the end of this month, so that's kind of what I knew. But I didn't know the exact date until a week before, like the exact date, like the Friday or whatever. But I knew because of him. I think it's different for you, because you kind of are there firsthand hearing it.
The person that's deployed, will always be the first one to know, hopefully, if they're chain of commands, communicating with them and pushing down information properly. You should have like a tentative date in your head when you leave, of when you'll be back roughly, but we didn't know the exact.
I mean, we knew the exact 9 month
date
deployment.
And time, probably until like, I don't think I knew it until,
because it's like
maybe
what
like a week and a half or 2 weeks
on.
before. It's just, it moves around a lot, so it's
something else is like, just because Nick left earlier than some of the people didn't mean he was gonna like come home before the people who left later, which I thought was kind of weird, but like I get now. But yeah, it's not like that. So if you think it's gonna be like that, don't think it's gonna be like that, because you might get your hopes up and then they're not home first, even though they left first. Was it weird when he came home, and did it take time to adjust? Is it weird? Do you think it was weird?
I don't think it was weird. I don't know.
I thought it was so weird. Like, when he first got home, I was kind of like, well, also you're like super nervous because you might have like changed stuff around in the house, or like you've just been alone all the time, and that's something that was weird, is like I wasn't alone all the time, and I had to adjust to that. Like, he could be like, I'd almost forget that he was here, and he would like sneak up on me, and I'm like, you can't do that. I'm used to being alone all the time, and it would like literally scare me. So I think it was weird. And did it take time to adjust? I think we got into like,
it didn't really take time for me to adjust. I was
home
just so
and
excited to
Murphy.
get home
Sorry.
and just be back home. So I didn't really have an adjustment period. I was just home, and that was it. I'm good.
Okay, so that is it for all the questions that I got on Instagram. If you guys have any more questions, definitely leave them in the comments or message me on Instagram if I didn't answer the specific question that you had. You know, I'll answer it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and in seeing Nick's face, because he's not in very many of these videos. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Bye.